Welcome to Humble Warrior Yoga. I'm Caroline and welcome to today's Healthy Spine Flow. So today there's going to be a nice balance between mobilisation and strengthening, all to do with the spine, and of course all yoga originates from the spine, all our movement originates from the spine. So just before we get started, just a reminder, don't try and force your body in any way. Please, no pushing or pulling, only go as far as your body's letting you. So just listen to your body, take it nice and gentle on yourself. So find yourself in a comfortable seat. You can sit your hips up on something if you'd like to. We're not going to be here too long. Just ground the sit bones down, sitting up tall through the spine. Take a few deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Deep, full breaths. So fill in the belly, fill in the rib cage, fill in the chest. And exhaling through the nose. Nice. We're going to curve the spine backwards, so you make it sort of a C shape, and then circular movements all the way around. So arching the spine as you come back and taking it in the other direction as you come forwards. So a few circles one way and then take it in the other direction. And just notice how your spine feels. Maybe you're feeling a little bit tight in places. Just notice whereabouts you feel tight so that you can be a little bit more mindful as we move through the flow. And then coming back to stillness. Bring the right palm down, left arm up overhead, side bend over to the right. Your choice here, you can either do baby pulses or maybe you just want to hold it here. Just do what feels good for you. Then going to round the chest down towards the thigh and bring that left palm down. Just breathe into the back space. And come all the way back to centre. Left palm goes down, right arm overhead. Take that side bend over to the left. And again, moving how you'd like to here. And then rounding the chest down towards the thigh, bring the right palm down. Nice, come back up to centre. Bring the left palm to the right knee, right fingertips spin behind, gentle twist towards the right. And try and keep the nose in line with the navel. And release and take that twist to the other side. So the twist is coming from this upper part of the body. I think of it being from the waist upwards. And release. Take the palms behind, fingertips facing forward. Press into the palms and lift in the chest. Try not to arch through the lower back here. But find that length in the spine first and then work on lifting just the chest. Squeezing the shoulder blades towards one another. And release. So we're going to come to all fours. Okay, spread the fingers wide, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Do some cat-cow. Inhale, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly. chest comes forwards, squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another, and exhale, round the tailbone down, arch up through the spine, allow the head to drop down. Couple more with your own breath. Inhaling to come forwards, exhaling, take it the other direction. One more. And come back to a neutral spine. So I'm going to start to circle the ribs. So drop the rib cage down towards the ground and then move it over towards the right, arching up over to the left and back down. So you're trying to circle the rib cage. Try and keep the arms straight as you do this. And then take those circles in the opposite direction. Nice, come back to a neutral spine. You're going to extend the right foot out behind you. Just have a little rock back and forth, lengthen out through the leg. And then bring that right foot all the way over to the left. Turn to look over your left shoulder. So looking towards the foot if you can. Nice lateral stretch. So we're stretching the side body. And back to centre, left side. Extend the left foot out. Just gently rocking back and forth. And take that left foot all the way over to the right as you turn to look past your right shoulder. And back to neutral. So sit back towards the heels, keep the arms extended out front. You're going to round up through the spine as you come forwards. And if that feels okay and you want to continue that journey, drop the hips down. Try and keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. As you lift up back, lift the tailbone, sit back to the heels. Rounding through the spine to come forwards. And if it feels okay, drop in the hips. As you lift back up, lead with the tailbone. Once more, rounding as you come forwards. Leading with the tailbone to lift back. And this time, bring the head down to the ground. Just rest for a moment. Allow the hips to sink down towards the ground. Releasing some tension from this lower part of the back. And when you're ready, coming back up to all fours. And step the right foot forward between the hands into a low lunge. Then lift the chest, lift the arms up overhead. Drop the right arm down by your side, take a side bend over towards the right. Bring the right arm back up overhead, and then you're going to send the left fingertips forward, right fingertips back, twist towards the right. Bring the left palm down to the ground, right hand reaches up to the sky. And bring the right palm back down. Stepping the right foot back, other side. Step the left foot forward into your low lunge. Lift the chest, sweep the arms up overhead. Just take a breath here. Really press into both feet evenly. And then drop in the left fingertips, side bend over to the right. It's going to really help if you press into that big toe at the front. The left arm reaches overhead again. Right fingertips forward, left fingertips back as you twist towards the left thigh. Don't worry if your twist looks more like this. As I said at the start, just go with how you're feeling today. Don't force anything. And bring the right palm down. Left hand raises towards the sky. And plant the palm back down. Step the left foot back. Walk the hands slightly forward. We're going to lower onto the belly. So bring in the elbows underneath the shoulders for a Sphinx pose. That feels a bit tight on the lower back. You can take your legs a little wider, or you can walk the elbows further forwards. Press into the elbows, press into the forearms and the hands. Keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. So resist that urge to collapse the weight. And take a couple of breaths here. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, lift the elbows and start to straighten the arms. Again, you don't have to lift too far. Make sure that your lower back feels okay here. If you feel any pinching, just lower back down. And then bring in the hands by the ribs. Press all the way back. Tuck the toes, sit back towards the heels, lift the hips up high and back. Pedal it out, downward facing dog. Just take a few moments pedaling out the feet, stretching out the legs. Moving the hips if you want to. Just do any small movements that feel good here. And then walking the hands towards the feet at the back of the mat. Into a forward fold. Keep a bend in your knees. Take hold of opposite elbows of the opposite hands. Have a little sway. Release any tension in the lower back. And let the arms go, let them be really heavy. Keep the chin tucked in towards the chest. Just start to lift, rolling up through the spine. So we're stacking one vertebra on top of another. Till we come all the way up. Just circle the shoulders one way and the other. Nice. So, I'm just going to turn to face you a moment. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Grab hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Bump the hips over to the left, side bend to the right. And back to centre. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand, side bend towards the left. And one more each side. Nice. And keep bending the knees as you take the right fingertips back, left fingertips forward, twist and open towards the right. Back to centre, take it to the left. Right fingertips come forwards, left fingertips reaching back. One more each way. Back to centre. Bring the arms down, tuck the chin towards the chest. Bend the knees and rolling all the way back down to your forward fold. Take it nice and slowly. And when your hands reach the ground, walk the palms out. Find downward facing dog again. Keep a really generous bend in the knees as you lift the tailbone high. Find that length in the spine. And then extend the right leg out behind. Bring the knee in towards the chest, stepping forward into a runner's lunge. If you prefer to do that from hands and knees, just drop to the knees, step that right foot forward, and then lifting that knee. So whichever way you've got there, we're all in a runner's lunge. Bring one palm to the thigh, then the other. Lift the chest. Just take a moment to find your balance here. Reaching the arms overhead. Dropping that right palm down by the side, side bend over towards the right. It's a bit of a challenge for the balance, so you don't need to go too far. Bringing that right arm back to centre and taking the left fingertips forward, right fingertips back, twisting over to the right. Bring the left palm down to the ground, right palm reaches overhead. Plant the right palm, step back to downward facing dog. Have a little pedal out. And do the other side. So left leg reaches out behind. Draw the knee in towards the chest, stepping that foot forwards. Or again, you can do that from hands and knees. So then bringing one palm to the thigh and then the other. Finding your balance. Reaching the arms up overhead. Drop the left fingertips down. Side bend over towards the left. And again, you don't need to go too far here. Take the left arm back overhead. Bring the right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. Open and twist towards the left. And bring that right palm down. Left hand reaches towards the sky. Planting the right palm, step the left foot back to meet the right downward facing dog, and then lower down to the knees. Knees can be together or wide, sit back towards the heels, child's pose. Just take a couple of breaths here, catching your breath. And coming back into a tabletop position. Tuck the toes under, sit the heels back, lift the hips, downward facing dog again. From here, I'm going to rock forward, rounding through the spine as you come. Maybe you just come to a plank. Maybe you continue onwards, dropping the hips again. Lifting up and back to downward facing dog. We'll do that twice more. So if you wanted to do this from hands and knees like we did earlier, you can do that. So really engaging the core. Once more. And back to downward facing dog. We're going to lower down to the knees. I'm going to come to a kneeling position. Just come to the centre of the mat. We're going to do some camel variations. I'm going to start with the hands on the lower back. Try and have the fingertips pointing upwards. Find some length through the spine, pushing the hips forwards. Extend the left arm up. Lift the chest. So really work on lifting that chest. Don't worry about what the lower back's doing. And then the other side. So trying to find some movement in this upper part of the spine. Nice. So if you want to take that a little bit further, you can either do that again, or this time reach in towards the heel. You can absolutely have your toes tucked here, whatever's going to feel best. And then the other side. So just having a little play here, and if you wanted to go one step further, bring both hands to the lower back, lengthen up through the spine. Start to round through the upper part of the spine, lifting the chest, draw the shoulders towards each other, draw the elbows towards each other. Keep the hips pressing forwards, reaching both hands towards the heels. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together. And once you've had a little play, just going to bring the hands down, sweep them all the way back, bring the head down into a child's pose. Let the upper body relax, let the shoulders be really heavy. One more breath here. And lifting back up. We're going to come down onto our bellies again. Just gently make your way down there. Interlacing the hands behind the back. Try and keep the legs hip width apart. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Lift the arms away from the body. So we're using our back strength to hold us here. Not like when we do cobra, we're not pressing our hands into the ground. Keep pressing into the tops of the feet. And exhale, lower down. Keeping the hands where they are. This time, we're just going to lift the legs. Keeping the head, the shoulders down. And exhale, lower back down. This time we're going to lift everything. And don't worry if you only lift an inch or so, you're still engaging the muscles, gaining some strength. And inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the legs, lift the chest. And if you wanted to take that a little bit further, bend the knees, grab a hold around the ankles and kick the feet up into a bow pose. Exhale, come back down to the mat. Bring the hands in front, place one hand on top of the other, bend the knees and just gently let the feet drop one side and then the other. Nice. And pressing back up to all fours. Do thread the needle. So extend the right arm out to the side and then bring it underneath, coming down onto the shoulder and the side, coming down onto your ear. And this left hand can either stay where it is, you can extend it out in front, or maybe take a half bind, taking it round the back. Just have a little play with what feels best for you. And coming out, we'll do that on the other side. So take the left arm out, extend and draw it underneath you, coming down onto the shoulder and onto the ear. Right palm can either stay where it is, or take it out in front, or reach it around the back towards the left thigh. Coming back out slowly. Take the knees wide, big toes to touch, sit back towards the heels. Take the arms out in front, melting the head and the heart down. Walk the hands over towards the left. Stretching through that right side body. Slowly walking back through centre, take it over to the right. Coming back to centre, lifting up. So I'm going to come to take a seat. Extend the legs out in front. And bring the left leg in. You can either keep it where it is or cross it over the right, your choice. Either way, we're going to take the right arm overhead and extend. As you exhale, bring the right arm around the right thigh, left fingertips behind, twist towards the left. And of course, you don't have to wrap your arm all the way over, just go where you can reach, twist as far as feels okay. Coming back to centre, swapping sides. So bending that right leg, either keeping the foot on the inside of the left leg or crossing it over. Extend the left arm up high. Inhale, get tall through the spine. As you exhale, twisting towards the right. Come back to centre. Make your way down to your back. And when you get there, draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Have a little rock side to side, maybe some circular movements. Just massaging the lower back into the mat. And bring the soles of the feet down. And just bring them as close as you can in towards your bottom. Arms down by the sides. You press into the arms, press into the feet. You lift the hips up. Just take them up as high as feels okay for you. Try not to let the knees come in together or splay out to the sides, keeping the legs parallel. You want to go a little bit further, bring the shoulder blades underneath, interlacing the hands underneath the body, lifting a little higher. One more breath here. Gently releasing down, just slowly rolling the spine back down to the ground. Take the legs out long down the mat. Take up some space, take the arms out to the side or allow them to rest on the belly. Whatever feels best for you today. Closing down the eyes. Just noticing how you feel. Relax the weight of the body into the ground. If it feels uncomfortable to have your legs out long at the moment, you can always take your feet out wide with knees bent. Just allow the knees to drop in together. It can feel really good for the lower back. Whichever option you're taking, just allow the breath to return to its own natural rhythm. And give yourself permission to fully relax. If you have a little bit longer, you can absolutely stay here as long as you wish to. Otherwise, start to bring back some small movements, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, deepening the breath. Take the arms overhead, take a big stretch, and draw the knees in towards the chest. And just gently roll to one side. Take a few moments here. Before pressing all the way back up to take a seat. Keeping the eyes closed and the hands together in front of the heart space. Just thank yourself for showing up for your practice today. Bowing the head towards the heart. Namaste.